It's awesome. Like you said, a lot of downfield stuff, taking a lot of shots, and just the tempo. Tempo is going to be big for us. We're going to throw the ball a lot more, and just adjusting to that, and having to put faith in my receivers and the offensive line to hold up. So we're looking forward to it.
Do you expect this offense to stretch defenses a bit more, force them to maybe do more two deep safety than you saw last year? Did you see a lot of crowding last year?
I think that'll be one thing, especially because how much we're going to throw the ball. But with the talent that we have at running back, once we establish our run game, establish our pass game, that's going to be huge because defenses are going to be in a bind. We want to be good at both aspects of the game, running the ball and passing the ball. So once we get to that point, it's going to be tough for defenses to adjust.
Which receivers are you seeing making a big jump, or they just look ready to have a huge jump?
Juice Tolles, he's been working his butt off every single day. Probably highest effort guy we have out here. And then newcomer, Shea Wyatt, he's going to be really, really good. He's very talented. He's got great hips, good speed, gets in and out of breaks, and he does things well and does what he's supposed to do. So you can expect a lot from him.
And where have you seen the most development in your own game?
I think really just seeing the field and the game slowing down. Just being in situations that I've been in before, and being able to visualize things and see blitzes, see coverages, make protection checks is definitely going to be huge and something that I've worked on a lot. Progressing my eyes faster through reads, pocket movement, all that stuff.
Was there a particular game from last season that you spent a lot of time looking at in terms of feeling like that's the one you really wanted to understand how you can improve these things? Or any particular plays or games, just things that you can help them with?
Definitely the Houston game. Obviously, that was my first start, but the amount of sacks and the bowl game as well. Just going back and looking at that and what I can do better. Stepping up in the pocket, gathering, is something that we've really emphasized and worked on a lot. But just everything in general.
I had a question just about, obviously, the universities having that mask mandate for fans and everything like that. Do you even think about that as a player, for your parents, anything like that, coming to the games, or is it just play football and try not to worry about that?
Yeah, I don't try to necessarily worry about all that exterior stuff. As of right now, especially, we're in fall camp. Just got to, keep our heads forward and, focus on what we have at hand.
I wanted to circle back to Oklahoma. I caught the end, maybe the questioning there, but I think that's the biggest home game here since Ole Miss, maybe like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, Georgia Tech, when they open the stadium, it's got to be the biggest game. Yeah, maybe since Texas in 03.
So, it's got to be cool on some level. Can you just maybe speak to how cool it is to be part of an unusually big home game, and maybe the biggest one ever in this league, and how you want to handle it as a competitor?
We're not going to necessarily look at it like it's the biggest game we've ever played. Obviously there's things that we really got to emphasize and, work for because it's such a big game. But we just got to execute what we've been doing. We got to come out here and practice every day and execute and work on the little things and, not take all that extra stuff into consideration, but really just play our brand of football.
How do you balance preparing 1 week at a time? I get that, but knowing you've got a couple of marquee non-conference games early in the year, but at the end of the day, probably the biggest goal you've got is to win a conference championship. So how internally do you balance that?
Really just take it week by week. That's the biggest thing you got to do. Obviously Oklahoma coming in, and we got Morgan State, Ole Miss, UAB. You got to take it week by week and just game plan for each game, and just play how we're supposed to, execute, and take care of business.
The skill you've got around, particularly in the backfield. I know there's been some changeover. Tajay's back after the injury. Now you've got Crumble this year. Can you talk about just the surrounding parts that you've got to deal with, this year and after having been in the offense?
It's big, especially having all those guys, having Cam Carroll, Tajay is going to be back, Devin Brumfield. I think one of the most exciting things is having our O-line that we have this year. I think we had 8 or 9 different guys start a game last year for us because of injuries and COVID and whatnot. So just that depth that we've acquired over the off season and the competition within the guys, pushing each other to, be better, and guys looking for that spot. Has definitely just made them compete and made each other better every single day, which is really promising. I think we're going to rotate guys on the offensive line, but just establishing that is going to help me and the running backs out. And once you get that run game established, it'll open everything else up. So.
Have you thought about last year at this time? You were kind of like